Recording, cool. Okay. So it's gonna be my first study session. I got my notepad, and we're gonna go look at some high-level games. So right now, the goal, right, as I was talking about earlier, I want to refine my opening because it's gonna be the one thing that my opponent can't do anything about. If I have a better opening than him, I instantly get an edge, right? And he can't stop me from pinpointing my opening. And since in this game, you usually know what your opponent is playing, with the exception of random. So a good portion, there's about like, I think it's 10% of the player base that plays random. So as I was saying, right, that's like a low margin. I already do have a build that I use for all players, right, because I'm platinum now. And getting up here, I just used one build for all 3 matchups. So that's my random build right now. But right now we're going to start with my lowest win rate. So if we go check in my race report, that is Terran, right? So I'm playing Zerg. It's down here. So the idea is if I fix this, right? So right now I'm outclassing the Protoss players I'm playing against. So that's kind of what's going on with these stats, right? So the idea is if I can improve my Terran play, then I'll be playing against better Protoss, and then I can reevaluate my Protoss players because the Protoss players will eventually figure out how to beat me. It's a lot harder to get my win rate from 73% to 74 than my 50% win rate to 51, right? It's just a lot harder to get that. You get diminishing returns. It's the law of diminishing returns here. So I'm going to watch a pro match, a few pro matches. I have some replays from the Katowice 2020, and I'm going to be watching a ZVT. So I'm going to be watching Serral versus INnoVation. I'll go see if I find other games. Maybe I'll just move on to Zerg versus Zerg because that's at 52, so it's pretty close. But today we're just going to do ZVT, and the focus is going to be on openers. Yeah, that's the plan right now. So downloaded a few replays. And the reason why I'm taking notes is because the way our brain remembers stuff, it has to, our short-term memory can't hold that much information, and it's short-term, right? And everything that goes in our brain or in our short-term memory has to go through a filter. And by writing something down, I force my brain to ponder that idea a lot longer, right? With the hopes that it ingrains it in my long-term memory. So whenever I wake up tomorrow, I'll still remember what I wrote down. It's not necessarily so I have to go read it again. That's not really how it works. It can help me like practice recalling, but the goal is so that tomorrow morning I remember what I just studied. Okay, so let's go find those games. Replays. Oh, that's clear. I thought I moved it here. There we go. Pro replays. I wanted to watch Serral versus INnoVation. So I don't remember watching these games, so I don't know how it goes. We're gonna enjoy it. Let's go. Oh, it's pretty cool though. The technology we got today. Now I can see like exactly what Serral's looking at. You know what? Actually, we'll go with Serral's perspective, so I can see like where he's moving the camera and all that. Although he's really fast, so maybe I won't be able to follow. So maybe we'll disable that. We'll try it while looking at Serral. I can tone down the speed too. And actually, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to watch the opening unfold without trying necessarily to, like, I'm just going to try to, take it in, right? So I'm not going to try to follow exactly everything. And then once I have like a general idea of what's going on, then I'll start it over and we'll go through it again. It's kind of like in music, right? So I got a small music background. Whenever you're analyzing a piece, right, it's very important to actually listen to the piece first, so then you understand the overall composition, the overall theme, right? It's a lot harder to understand what Serral's doing if I don't know where he's going, right? If I see in like the next 3 minutes he's cheesing him, well then the opening's gonna make a lot more sense. Be like, well, why is he using the pool? This pool timing is really weird, right? Well, he's cheesing him, right? Why did he not get a hatch? Oh, well, he's cheesing him, right? But I don't know this until I actually see him cheese, so I don't know what he's gonna do. So we're just gonna enjoy the start. Okay, so it looks like he's looking for a proxy rack, setting up his hotkeys, verifying if they work. Okay, Those are just the camera hotkeys. And then he does the OV. Okay. So far, this is all standard. So we're not doing a 14-14, although I don't think 14-14 is too popular anymore. Huh. I'm really not concerned about the cannon rush. Okay. What am I saying? He's playing against a Terran. There's no cannon rush. There's bunker rushes. Those are insanely rare, though. That's fair. I guess that OV can spot a proxy racks. Because that'd be a spot. The one down here is the place for proxy racks. So far, this is all really normal. This is what I'm expecting. We'll go back and jot down the exact timings, right? And then we'll try to emulate that. I guess, okay, INnoVation is going to expand soon. Just loading a lot. But I don't know how Terran works. Okay, that Overlord is coming back. That's kind of interesting. My intuition is telling me that Overlord placement's going to be a little bit out there because he's like playing around how INnoVation might move his SCV in, right? And INnoVation knows he's going to place the Overlords in a certain way, so then INnoVation is going to do like these weird routes to try to avoid them, and then Serral's trying to try spotting it, and he spotted it, right? This is like a bunch of metagaming, right? I don't think we're gonna. Oh, he spotted the Reaper. Yeah, okay, makes sense. This is all normal. He didn't get the base at 2:30. Okay. So I was being told to get my base a little late, but he's not. When is he getting it? 2:36. Okay. And then he brought the drone out, right, before the Reaper, so he's just hiding it over there, because once the Reaper arrives, it's really hard to get the drone out there. Because the Reaper will just chase it and then pick it off before you can plant the hatchery. But once the hatchery's down, it's a lot tougher. Once he gets his fourth, we'll call it, like, not an opener. At the fourth, that's about where I get lost. Like, when to get the fourth, that's about where I get confused. Although he might get layer. If he gets layered first, then we'll. Once he gets layer, it gets a fourth. We'll say it's not the opening anymore. Then we'll just check out what's going on. So at 3:54-ish, the drones, again, I'm going to go through this and we're going to jot down all the timings again. 3:54-ish, the probes are at the third. The drones, sorry, not the probes. Zerg doesn't have probes. I mean, they can if you got an infester. And if there's a Protoss in the game, but there isn't. Okay. INnoVation got caught off guard there. It's a Baneling nest. What triggered the Baneling? Oh, he's probably just going Ling Bane because he's still pretty blind here. Although it's INnoVation. INnoVation tends to go bio, right? She probably just does a mix of both. There, fourth. Okay. Fourth, did he start the? No. Okay, yeah, he did start. Okay, so he started the layer. It's the layer in the main. That's interesting. So my thought process right now, I'm just plat, so I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna talk about my thought process, but I'm gonna start doing this because I'm watching Serral do it, right? Not questioning Serral, but my thought process was getting my layer in my expansion, right? Because by the time my opponent starts getting scary enough to pick me off, right, to start picking off bases, I'd much rather protect my expansion than my main, because my main's going to be mining out then, right? So if he kills my mains, sometimes I won't even rebuild it. I'll just go build something somewhere else, or take my Neuro likes to call it taking your business elsewhere. But although I don't know where Neuro's a streamer. I don't know where he does the layer. But yeah, so the idea would be to have a layer here, so then it'd allow me to get my defenses really close, right? So I can just defend one point instead of defending both, because then I risk losing my layer tech. But I'm guessing the idea here is that it hurts a lot more to just lose the layer in progress, because then it sets you so far behind, than actually just losing the layer, let's say like 7-9 minutes in the game, because by then you would already have your Hydralisk Den or your Spire or whatever you were going for, right? Why does he have that selected? Oh no, I got it selected. Sorry, I don't know how the replays work. Which probably makes a lot of sense. So being in the main at 5 minutes, your layer's a lot more protected. Okay, it's probably something I'm gonna do. Maybe it's just like a queen timing thing. I don't know. Okay, and what does INnoVation have at this point? So by the time Serral starts his 4th base, INnoVation is building his first SCV out of his 3rd base. Okay. Okay. I'm curious to see who wins. Okay. I'll just jot down that timing. It'll give me an idea of how I can judge if I'm ahead, right? So if I like get my 4th base, and or if I just see like where this could be applicable, right? Is if I just see him building his 3rd base and I'm putting down my 4th, depending on how this game goes, because I don't know who wins this. I don't know if Serral comes out ahead here. Maybe he is. Yeah, I'm not able to judge these things right now. So by watching this game, I'll be able to know, well, if this means that Serral's ahead, or maybe he's behind. I don't know, right? Depending on the timing. So then whenever I go in a game and then I see, oh, he's just building his command center and I'm putting down my 4th, I know I'm ahead from whatever position this is, right? Or if I have this position, I know how it kind of plays out. Although we're talking about Serral and INnoVation, so these are crazy players. So we'll speed up the game because I just want to see how it concludes, what this opening ends up doing. Okay. Okay, so the Hatcher's getting the first drone, and then this one's fully, well, it's not fully, it's almost there though. It's almost fully saturated. And this one's getting there. Okay. I want to play with you. I'm just watching the mini map right now. I'm definitely not going to be able to follow any of these players at 8 times speed. I just want to see how it finishes. He gets the 5th. So INnoVation's going to have, INnoVation needs to set down that 3rd at some point. That 4th, sorry. Now Serral's got drones? Yeah, he's got drones on his 5th. And INnoVation doesn't have the 4th. So this Serral's ahead here. As long as Serral can defend this attack, you can see on screen right now. Serral's losing SCVs. Okay. But sorry, INnoVation's losing SCVs. A lot of them too. Yeah, this is Serral's game. This 6 base. INnoVation's still only on 3. And if we check the... Yeah, GG. Here we go. Check the drone count. 41 to 77. Okay, so if we just assume that these two players are evenly matched, or relatively evenly matched, then now we know that... I mean, okay, there's going to be like a... Not that we know, there's going to be my hypothesis, right? So I'm going to watch more games, and then we're going to see if we see the same pattern coming up again. Which would mean that the hypothesis right now is that if you're putting down the 4th, right when Terran starts to build his first SCV at his 3rd, you're ahead as Zerg. That's the idea here. That's the idea. So I'm going to jot that down, and then we'll keep an eye out for it, and then we'll see if I find more games that validate this hypothesis. Right? The reason why it's kind of important, or why I feel it's important to base your 4th timing somewhat on your opponent's 3rd timing, right? Is because if he just stays on 2 base and he's prepping an all-in, it's very easy to die if you're expanding on your 4th, right? Because you didn't get that return yet on your 4th. If you establish that 4th and then he still only has 2 bases, you won, right? But you're vulnerable during the window where you're setting up that 4th. And being able to understand if I'm ahead or how much, right? Just understanding the timing involved here. So then I won't necessarily feel pressured to have the 4th, or I'll know like, okay, I'll go check like other games where Serral plays and where the Terran doesn't expand, or expands the 3rd a lot later, right? And then I'll know what I should be doing. Like, when does he take his 4th if the Terran doesn't even take his 3rd, right? That's kind of the idea here. I'm just, at first I'm just going to start copying exactly what he's doing, and then eventually, hopefully I'll start understanding a lot more. Yeah, this is the plan so far. It's the plan. Okay. So now we're going to jot down this build. We're going to the supply, and we'll check out the time as well. The time, the supply, and we'll do the mineral count. Because at this level, players are that precise, right? They'll be precise enough to hit certain mineral counts, or like relatively close anyways. And I'll compare it against other games, and then we'll see the variances, right? Exactly, like, okay, does he change if there's no Reaper, if there is a Reaper, what the, you know, that sort of stuff. Or if he sees an SCV scout. Okay. So now we're just gonna get the opening to the 3rd. We're just gonna start there. The 3rd. No, we'll do the 4th. We'll do the 4th. Okay. So instant drone. That's self-explanatory at this point. Alright, let's see what he's looking at. Let's look at production. Boom, here we go. Then the overlord, right when he hits 100, at least I'm assuming that's what happened. That's probably what happened. Why is he not turning that into a drone? Oh, I'm being stupid. He's capped out. That's what's going on. He already did make a second drone. I thought he didn't make a second drone right now, but he is at 14 supply. Okay. Turns those into drones right away. And then the next larva that pops out is going to be a drone, right? I'm not writing this down so far because this is fully standard. Okay, and then he's not. Oh, okay. He's even banking up 2 larvae. Okay, this is one concept for Zerg that's kind of important to understand. You can actually bank up larvae. It doesn't set you behind like not building SCVs does on the command center, but you can only bank up to 3. Because once you're up to 3, that timer that's ticking in the background, the invisible timer that's ticking for whenever the next larva shows up, pauses once you have 3 larvae. So right now he has 2, he's fine. Usually I'd have spent that larva. So he got the pool on 16. Yeah, he's getting it on 16 anyways. I usually get it on 17. And I saw some Zergs do this in ZVZ. He's doing this against Terran, so I thought it was just like a ZVZ thing, but my ZVZ win rate is about matching it too, so I'll be able to apply it on both. Okay, so let's rewind it. How does this work? So already we're getting 1 change. Oh, wait, when does he send the drone out? Although there he did send it out slightly earlier. So at 40 seconds, 40 seconds and 195 minerals. So usually I send it at 160, but it'll have an extra drone, and I'll be waiting a little bit longer. So I'd send it a little earlier according to the mineral count, right? But here he's sending it 1 supply earlier, so he's sending it a little later on the mineral count, so it just lines up. The idea is you want the drone to show up here right when you hit 300 minerals, which is how much you need for the hatch, right? 16, okay. So, open ZVT. Okay. Send drone to NAT. The reason why the timing's kind of fun to keep track, right? The supply is kind of going to be what matters. Really, it's going to be the minerals. But if I can keep track of the timing, then I'm going to be able to know if I wasted time compared to how Serral played this, right? Because like this opening shouldn't be that difficult. Like even a new player should be able to pull off a clean opening. Like against an opponent, that's a different thing. But I'm going to go into a custom game with no opponent, and then we're going to try to match these timings. And there's no reason why I couldn't match these timings, even though Serral's good. He can't actually like slow down the timer in the game, right? He's not that good. So send drone to NAT at 40 seconds. Or 195 minerals. There we go. Hatch at 16 supply. Does he hotkey the drone? He does. He does. Okay. He hotkeyed the 2 OVs so far too. I'll add that into my gameplay. Maybe not. I won't use the hotkeys, but I'll get the habit because I don't really know how I want to use them right now. But I'll get the habit of placing these overlords into hotkeys and then placing them out of hotkeys. We'll pay attention to how he does that. But that's secondary. Right now I just want to get the build down. But just call that a side note. Side note. Over forwards and natural. Alright, there we go. 1 second. Okay. Okay. So now we're at 15 supply. What does he do next? Checks his hotkeys. Okay. Then he builds 1 drone. Okay, he doesn't have enough. Okay. Okay. So he's like actually bouncing around. He's probably just keeping an eye on the mineral count between the drones. See, like usually I just stare at my base here because the minerals go up kind of fast, but get used to looking away. So I'll get used to looking at the mineral count to base my builds. Okay, that's another side note. See, like I tend to tunnel vision on the supply and the larva count, right? Like seeing when a larva spawns, and then I just kind of hold the button, which I could do. But I've been getting used to just looking at the mineral count. Will just allow me to read the game better. I don't know how to put that into words. Kind of like reading ahead when you're playing music. When a musician plays music, he won't be well when you're reading, right? If you're just thinking about like reading some text out loud, you're actually like reading a couple words ahead of what you're going to say because you can't possibly read something as you say it because you won't be able to say the words. You'll be like blocking. That's why people like stutter or block or blank as they're trying to read. It's because their talking pace caught up with their. This is a side note, but their talking pace caught up with what they're reading. So it's just kind of a little mental shift. It'll probably stop me from banking so much minerals. So we'll check out my gameplays at some point, and then you'll see I bank up minerals. There's a reason why I'm black. Okay, so now he's at 18 minutes. Okay, 18 minutes, and then so he's gonna go hatch gas pool, which is standard, different timings. Why am I saying 18 minutes? 18 supply. That first drone that's coming out is going to go to the gas geyser, and the next drone. It's probably because he doesn't want to mess with his saturation, right? Because he's got 16 saturation right now, which is really good. And he's not in a rush to build the gas geyser, right? So like some people think, well, I want my opening to be clean, so I'm going to try doing everything as fast as possible because StarCraft is about being fast. But he's not sending one like this drone here to build the gas geyser because the gas geyser for Zerg just costs 25 minerals. He has 100, so he could do it. But he's not doing it right now just for the sake of lowering how much minerals he's spending, right? He doesn't want to mess with the saturation. So we're going to, yeah, so first drone. Okay, so 18 supply. And there should be 2 drones in the eggs. Also, 1 minute and 5 seconds. Perfect. First drone hatching to geyser. Second to pool location. Okay, where is he placing the pool? He's placing it all the way over here. Okay. So it's gonna be 18, 17. So he doesn't quite place it there. He places it. It's gonna be like a map dependent thing. I'm gonna bank it's relative to where the. I'm gonna bet it's relative to where the ramp is. Or if you put the pool here, then he can attack you here. It might be because there's lacking there's a bit of dead space here. There is more. No, there's a lot more dead space too. It might be because of the dead space as well. We'll figure out pool placements later because I don't know. I don't know. We'll be looking for patterns. Okay. So 17 pool. And then a drone. That was as soon as he had more larvae. As soon as he had enough money. Still doesn't mess with the saturation. Right? That was the next drone, right? Yeah. Okay. See, and this is what I meant by worker management. So instead of sending these, why am I pointing out my hands? Instead of sending 3 of these drones, which is what I'm currently doing, he sends the hatching drones to not interrupt the mining. And there's no reason why I can't do that. It's not really that much more APM intensive. It's just not being lazy about the way you're doing things, right? Just like a good habit to get going. And this is an edge that, like, no matter what INnoVation's doing, as long as INnoVation isn't like SCB rushing them, which isn't really a thing, or proxy, even then at 1 minute 20, there's not much INnoVation can do to stop. In fact, I don't think there's anything INnoVation can do to stop Serral from managing his workers like this, right? This is an edge that your opponent just can't take away from you. This is why I'm starting here. Because now, like, my opponent just doesn't matter. And the drone hatches right when it's done, which is kind of cool. And he sends the next one, yeah. And then I'm guessing he sends a third. Yeah, okay, cool. So now we're at 20. So he's still droning till 20 supply. Okay, and then he mines. Why is he mining? Maybe that's just for drone walking, because you lose the mineral if you hatch, so it doesn't actually make sense if you make a hatchery. Like, if you make a building with the mineral, with the drone, you lose the mineral it's carrying. So I don't think he wants to mine here, because that's just burning minerals. But yeah, it's probably just for mineral walking or something. I don't know. Okay. So at 20 supplies, send the drone that's building, sending it to the natural? Where is he sending it? Oh, I'm being stupid. He's just sending it to mine. Silly. Oh, okay. Because I usually build my hatch at 17, so that hatch wouldn't be ready on the 20th drone. Or the drone at 20 supply. Okay. 20 supply. Natural. I was thinking I was going for his third. It's like that's a really early third. But he just takes a third here at 236. That's what I remember. 6. So he brings one of the Overlord back. Okay. Okay, when did he send that, John? Which drone does he send out? Oh, okay. He sends the one in gas. At 92 gas. 26 supply. He sends the one in the gas, Geyser. Okay. Let's do it. 2 minutes and 10. Okay. 2 minutes and 10 seconds. 26 supply. Oh, I missed the Zergling timing too. Okay, let's write this down. I'll leave a space for the Zergling timing. It was probably just 21 and 22. That is my guess. We're going to go find out. 6. 26 supply. 2 minutes 10. 26 supply. Send drone in gas to third location. .92 gas. So he's really, see, I'm probably getting the Zergling speed just a little too fast. Right, he's getting the, yeah, it's not a priority. I'm still getting it, like, but just like slightly before this. Okay. So right, we want it to back up to, yeah, here. Okay. So now I want to catch that queen timing. The queen and builds the Overlord at 20. Right. Right, of course. So he sends that one drone, and then when was that Overlord building? You sent the other drone first, right? Yeah. Starts another drone. Yes, and then you relays that drone. Okay, cool. And then the next one is an Overlord. Then 20 Overlord. Probably, yeah, okay, as soon as he gets the larva, he does it, because he has a bunch of money. Okay, what does he start first? The queens before. He starts both queens. Okay. Before he starts the circlings. That's kind of what I wanted to know. He does have enough money and larva for both. At least I believe he does. Does he have the larva here? So usually people will build. Okay, he doesn't have the larva here, but he has the larva here. He's probably gonna make a Zergling with that, and the idea is he just wants to stop that Reaper coming in because that Reaper's really annoying. It's gonna come in a few minutes or a few seconds, right? Yeah, that's the Reaper right there. The Reaper I'm talking about. Okay. So as soon as pool is ready, at 24, yeah. One's ready, or 24 supply. 2 queens. Pretty simple. 2 queens, 24 supply. He has the pool hotkey, which is interesting. I tried doing that. Was that? That's the same hotkey he had the drone on. Okay. Okay. Zerglings at 25, 26. Cool. Wings 25 and 26. Cool. And then this is, yeah, this is where he sends that drone out at 92 gas, 26 supply. But he doesn't send it right at 26, right? He sends it about halfway through the Zerglings. Yeah, about halfway through the Zerglings. So halfway through the Zerglings, 92 gas. Keep in mind, he didn't see anything about INnoVation. This looks pretty standard, so I'm assuming this is what he goes for, like, on a regular basis. Or like, at least Serral thinks this is strong against everything that Terran can throw at him, because all he's seen is this Reaper, which Terran sends literally every game. So he takes 2 out of gas. Oh, okay, which is what I was. Okay, I didn't make the video go long enough. Taking 2 out and leaving 1 in was something, but okay. As he starts that, he sends 1 away. He sends the drone out before he starts the spawning pool, or starts circling speed, which is something to note. Sends 1, and then just sends the other one down here, right? Yeah, okay. I think this allows you to have the Zergling out a little bit later, sooner. Like you're taking the hatch earlier. I know that might be what's going on here. Because I don't usually have my Lings ready. They come out like as the Reaper comes in, but he's had them for a few seconds. It's also dependent on the map length too. But okay. Alright. Let's go back to his cam. Okay, so he takes the 3rd before he gets his next Overlord. I usually get my Overlord at 31. That's what I've been doing. So already we're going to be cleaning my opening a little bit. But he's getting the 3rd before that Overlord, and that's going to be 100 less minerals he's got to wait. So he's going to have that 3rd that much more quickly. Okay. So hatch at 30. And then I don't have to worry about the timing to send the drone, because he's just sending it earlier to beat the Reaper. So it's not about being super efficient with the mineral or the mining time. It's about just beating that Reaper. Which means if you're playing Terran, you can fuck the Zerg. If you're thinking the Zergs think about this, you can really mess them up by just going straight to the 3rd with the Reaper instead of their natural, and then just bum rushing that drone. Okay, so 30 supply. Third hatch. Two minutes 30. Okay. So now he's at 29 supply. When does he start that OV? That's kind of what I want to know. Spawns a creep tumor first. Okay. Which I've seen doing. I don't do it at all. But okay, that's something to note. Okay. So rewinding. Why was I rewinding? There was something. Oh, metabolic boost. I didn't need to rewind for that, but then I'm just gonna add when he researches link speed. Link speed. All right. Okay. 29. He didn't inject this hatch yet, right? Oh, he did. Whoa, whoa, whoa. When did he inject that? Did I miss it? He didn't. No. Okay. When does he inject? When does he do it? When do you inject? Oh, I'm blind. Okay. That was just really fast. Well, it wasn't even that fast. I don't know. I just didn't see it. Okay. So 29 supplies, queen spawn. 29. Supply. Queen's spawn. And we're going to tumor natural. Okay. 30, okay. Drone's still 31. Where's that overlord? There's an overlord that should be soon. Although he is getting the third. He's getting the third a lot faster. Okay. So, since he's getting the hatcheries do give supply, so he probably doesn't need the overlord as fast. So that's 2 overlords that I've been building slightly too soon. Although I'm doing a different build, but I can postpone 2 overlords using this build, which will just make my economy that much quicker, because I can just buy more drones, right? Okay. So that queen was on 32, right? 31. Another drone. Another drone. Where's the other drone? What? 33. How did he jump up to 31? I'm confused. He skipped one, right? Do queens take up 2 supply? Queens don't take up 2 supply, right? Oh, they do. They do take up 2 supply. Whew. See, this is why I'm platinum. This is why I'm platinum. I thought they only took 1 supply. They do take 2 supply. That's why I'm jumping up that way. Okay. So queen at 31. And I'm guessing it's as soon as he hits 150. Injects. Cool. Build drone, 31. 150. Yep. Okay, cool. At 31 as soon 150 minerals. And this is going to be at 247. So the reason why I keep this is how the timing thing is going to really help. The timing thing, what we need to put a little asterisk beside it, right? If your opponent does something else, this can kind of mess around with your timing, because maybe you got to react more defensively, and then your third gets delayed because he doesn't have his his expansion or whatever, right? But why this will help, because so far this is like the perfect game to study, because INnoVation is not bothering him early, which means I can go in a custom game and just practice exactly this, right? And keeping track of all these timings are going to help me pinpoint exactly where I'm going wrong, because then I'll do my timing. We'll see whenever Serral's done, right? Like wherever I stop in, and be like, okay, I'm going to try to do this opening. And if I see that, oh, I lost 10 seconds or I lost 20 seconds, which in the first 3-4 minutes is a lot, right? If I lost this time, I'll be able to pinpoint where I lost it by watching the replay again and being like, oh, well, at this point, Serral had this, so where did I mess up? So I can know where I messed up, because if all the way up to, let's say, 23 supply, I'm hitting the same timings as Serral, well, then I know the problem's not there. The problem's later. It allows me to pinpoint my problems a lot quicker. So now we're at 33 supply. Okay. 33 is when he gets the Overlord. I'm not missing anything else, right? No. So this is the third Queen. Okay. And then 33 is the Overlord. Let's put this around. Overlord. There we go. It's the Joan. This is the Joan. Another Joan, 35. 36. So now Serral's supply blocks. What's going on? What is he going to build now? Oh, he's probably going to build the Roach Horn, and right? Okay. So was Serral's supply blocked? See, that's what I'm trying to figure out if Serral meant. Although I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm pretty sure he meant to, because, I mean, nothing happened in this game. It's not typical for a player to mess up their Overlord timing. Okay. 44. But he was supply blocked for a little moment. It's just something to note. So it's normal if I do. It's good to know. That Queen was at the natural as well. Well, I'm not sure it matters. He's not connecting the two bases. That's another thing I like to do. I think he does it later. He goes through here and then places the tumor across here, and that connects him. So he's not really. I guess this time he's not scared about it. He'd rather have more vision, which makes sense. This makes sense. I like to connect the two, because then I can run my queens back and forth. But I'm guessing the idea is here, don't let units in your main, which is fair. So now he's building till 44. When did he build the Overlord? Okay, 40. So at 40, build 4 drones. Okay. So at 40. So supply block at 36. Then say it's normal. Normal. So it's supposed to be supply block at 46. And then at 40, we'll check another we'll check another replay later, right? And then we'll know. We'll see if Serral builds the Overlord sooner. And we'll see if he actually made a mistake here. I mean, he is human. He's just insanely good at this game. Okay, so an overlord at 40. Cool. 41, those draw, 40. Yeah. Queen hatches, yeah. Queen injects. It's natural. It's natural. He just started those overlords, right? For so 44 builds 2 overlords, and then he builds the drones. Yeah. Mm. 2 lords. Okay. Oh, when did he start that queen? Ooh, we missed that. We missed that. Queen hatches. Yeah. Okay, was it 44? Let's say 44. And he started the overlords first. Yeah, he started the overlords first. And then 1 queen. Cool. Started queen. Okay, that means he built the overlords. He built those overlords at 42 then. He didn't build them at 44. Right? I can't go slower. 44. Okay, no, he builds the queen first. And he doesn't build 2. He builds 1. And he starts another overlord. Okay. That's what. Okay. So the other way around. Okay, so 44. So that was 42. And then queen. Yeah. Okay. So 42 queen. 2 queen. 44 overlord. Jokes. And metabolic boost finishes. Oh. Okay. We're gonna note down the time because I am starting to feel a little tired. Three 32. Okay. Done for now. I'll come back later. Peace. Thanks for joining me.